People are asking themselves, what can I do about Ukraine? A healing meditation is needed. It's clear that the survival of the small democratic nation of Ukraine is at risk. Russia is about to unleash the full might of its lethal military on Ukraine's cities. It's also clear that many of the people of the world who are observing this are feeling powerless. Early this morning, I woke up with a strong need to do a healing meditation on the situation, not knowing exactly what to do. Let me share with you what I did so that you can do the same. First, I began by doing the higher consciousness meditation process that I have developed and have written about to get myself in the right frame of mind. After coming to the end of the meditation, I had reached an elevated state of consciousness and was ready for the next step. In your case, you can find out about my process, or you can use any meditation process you are familiar with, including silent prayer, to put yourself into a nice, quiet, peaceful state of mind. Next, I was prompted to call Vladimir Putin, Joe Biden, Volodymyr Zelensky, other world leaders, the Russian military, the Russian people, the people of Ukraine, into my Holy of Holies for a moment of healing. I said to myself, and to them, I asked the higher selves of everyone involved to join me this morning to work on healing the situation in Ukraine. Remember, each of us is an eternal being whose motives and intentions may differ from the motives and intentions of our human selves. Let's take a moment to be at peace with each other and to remember who we really are, putting aside our human desires. I paused for a few minutes in silence and then took a unprompted deep breath that signaled that spirit had taken over. I then brought the session to a close. You can use this same process yourself if you feel moved to do so. Keep in mind that we all have Holy of Holies that lies within us, of infinitely flexible size, for doing inner work with individuals and groups. Use my words or use your own. Just take care to address the higher selves of all involved to work on the healing that is needed. Next, I use my best possible outcomes process and said to my higher self, my soul, higher consciousness, I ask for the best possible outcomes for everybody involved in this war vibration that's going on in Ukraine. I then paused, caught another sacred breath, spirit engaged. I concluded, thank you, spirit, for your involvement in this situation. This simple process, which you can use for anything you want to manifest, has several key elements to it. First, address this ask to your higher self, to spirit within. Ask for a non-specific but best possible outcome for the situation. And don't insert your own human solution into the mix. Request the best possible outcome for everybody involved. And then pause and wait for a signal that spirit has engaged, a breath, a sense, a click. Trust that spirit will unfold that which is needed for the best possible outcome. And finish with a thank you to your soul for its involvement. Then turn the matter over to spirit and go about your day. I then paused for a moment to see if there was anything else that needed to be done. And then these words came. There are many who are observing and working on what's going on in Ukraine because of the worldwide implications. There are those who work on planetary issues on this side, who work on inner levels to maintain maximum harmony for the planet. They are happy that you're working on this and that you're a conduit for spiritual energy intended to uplift this situation. Also, there are light workers like yourself all over the planet who are working on this as well. Mostly, these are unaffiliated individuals who bring their elevated consciousness and various talents to help out as best they can in situations that need healing. Your work combines with theirs to bring light into the dark places that humanity sometimes gets into. I have to say, this inner prompting from my soul blew me away. It was gratifying to hear that I was part of a sizable group of spiritual beings working on planetary issues, and that my small effort is a part of a larger effort to avert disaster in Ukraine. I invite those of you who are light workers, spiritual warriors, humanitarians, to use this guided meditation to add to your healing ability to the concern that we all share for Ukraine and its people, and to forgive the aggressor troops, many of whom don't even know what they're fighting for. Many of us are asking, what can I, an individual far from the conflict, do? Using these meditation techniques is one thing that you can do to bring your considerable light and spiritual understanding to help this situation. Here's some other things that you can do as well. First, find out more about the ideas I have presented in this post by going to Amazon Books and picking up copies of the meditation book and the manifestation book by Blair Abee that these ideas come from. I will donate 100% of the royalties from the sale of all of my books during the month of March to Ukrainian relief. Secondly, watch the news, but with sacred eyes. By that, I mean, put yourself in a meditative state before engaging with the images on the TV screen. View the information that you are observing by radiating your light outward into the situation rather than absorbing and amplifying the terrible human scene that is unfolding in front of your eyes. Talk to others about these ideas and share this information with them to amplify the spiritual power you are bringing to bear. Donate money to groups like International Rescue Committee, who are there on the ground helping to receive traumatized Ukrainian refugees in Poland, or contribute to Chef Jose Andreas's World Central Kitchen, which is there providing meals for the arriving refugees. And lastly, sign up for a free copy of my first book, The Amazing Benefits of Meditation. The links for all of these suggestions are right down below this video. Take advantage of that. And blessed be all efforts to bring about healing to this terrible situation. And thank you for your participation. Namaste.